Ryan Gosling goes to space to save humanity in Project Hail Mary. My review, right now. Welcome to Rest Reviews, my name is Daniel, and today I will be reviewing the sci-fi adventure film, Project Hail Mary. It's directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller and stars Ryan Gosling, Sandra Huller, James Ortiz, Lionel Boyce, and Ken Leung. Lord and Miller haven't directed a film since 22 Jump Street in 2014, though they did do some uncredited work on Solo: A Star Wars Story and have kept busy doing a number of projects producing. The two make a triumphant return behind the cameras with Project Hail Mary. It's a crowd-pleasing blockbuster and the best film the duo has directed so far. Ryan Gosling plays Ryland Grace. He's a middle school teacher and a disgraced molecular biologist. After scientists discover that microorganisms that have become called astrophage are causing the sun to dim, Grace is called in to study them because of some of his past theories. A suicide mission is eventually launched in an effort to save humanity, as astrophage could cause Earth to die. Ryland Grace becomes part of this mission to Tau Ceti, finding himself on a spaceship called the Hail Mary. He is eventually joined and assisted by an alien life form he comes to name Rocky. Based on Andy Weir's 2021 novel, Project Hail Mary is scripted by Drew Goddard. Goddard previously adapted Weir's 2011 novel The Martian, and he gained an Oscar nomination in the process. The screenwriter once again excels in translating Weir's words for the big screen. Goddard manages to condense the text of Project Hail Mary without losing its main story beats or the heart of the work, Grace and Rocky's friendship. One could nitpick that little scenes are changed or omitted here and there, but for the most part it's a smooth adaptation. I will say though that I wish some of the supporting human characters were fleshed out a bit more in the script. Eva Stratt, the brains behind the Hail Mary mission, is brought to life by the great Sandra Huller. She's kind of the only human character outside of Grace that has any depth though. I also felt that the third act of the film was a bit rushed too, which is interesting since I felt the exact opposite about the book, in that I thought the third act kinda dragged. I'm not sure if Goddard is more responsible or if directors Lord and Miller are, but the film wraps things up with a nice little bow too quickly instead of building suspense for the climax and the ending. Project Hail Mary is very well paced for the most part though. It's nearly 3 hours long and it kept me engaged the entire time. Editor Joel Negron finds a nice rhythm in shifting back and forth between Grace's mission and the flashbacks on Earth. The majority of Project Hail Mary is spent with Grace and Rocky. The growth of their relationship is beautifully captured, from them learning to communicate with each other, to challenging each other with science, to even getting on each other's nerves. The situations the duo get into can be both funny and emotional. Saying Ryan Gosling is a great actor at this point is a bit like saying stars are bright. The man is able to act alongside the puppetry and visual effects used for Rocky and sell every second of it. Whether Grace is being nerdy, cowardly, or brave, Gosling always hits the right notes. Also, shout out to the costume team that chose the shirts that Gosling wears throughout the film. I'm sure that some of them are going to be purchased by people because they're really gems. James Ortiz does stellar work as the lead voice and puppeteer for Rocky. Despite having no face and essentially being a moving pile of long stones, Rocky has plenty of personality. He's quite the jokester and engineer. There have been many memorable alien beings on screen over the years, from E.T. to Xenomorphs to the Predator. Rocky joins that hall of fame. As the character would say, he's amaze. Also amazing are the crafts behind Project Hail Mary. The visual effects are vibrant, from the tiny astrophage to the large green planets popping on the screen. The sound design is also crisp throughout. Cinematographer Greg Fraser is one of the best in the business. From Zero Dark 30 to Rogue One to the Dune films, he knows how to frame epic images. With Project Hail Mary, he delivers work that's a bit brighter than his usual output. It's still breathtaking work though, with plenty of detailed wide shots and disorienting camera rolls. Another highlight of Project Hail Mary is the music score by Daniel Pemberton. It's a wide-ranging score that adds emotion to the movie without getting in the way. The score isn't quite up there with Pemberton's finest work, those being the Spider-Verse scores, but it's still terrific music. Of course, directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller need to be praised for guiding their teams and the cast. Many films where humanity could be doomed tend to be dark and somber. While Lord and Miller don't ignore the more serious and sad sections, they often keep Project Hail Mary as more of a warm and hopeful movie throughout. Before I give you my final thoughts and rating, please hit that like button if you've enjoyed this review and consider subscribing and enabling notifications if you haven't already. You can also find and follow me on the social media platforms Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Backlogged, and Award Expert. Project Hail Mary is a wonderful adaptation of Andy Weir's novel. It's not quite on the same level as The Martian in my opinion, but it's still a highly entertaining sci-fi adventure. Gosling and Ortiz also make Grace and Rocky a team that audiences will love. I'm giving Project Hail Mary an 8.5 out of 10. It's the first great movie of 2026 and I definitely recommend checking it out in theaters. Let me know your thoughts on Project Hail Mary down in the comments section, and what's your favorite Ryan Gosling movie? He's one of my favorite actors and I really love Drive, The Place Beyond the Pines, and La La Land. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can check out these other videos on Rester Reviews right now.